All right, let's go to one question for each game. Indianapolis at Pittsburgh. Heath, is this going to be one of the best fantasy games of the week?
Top 5. We are blessed this week with 5 games with an over-under over 50, which is fantastic. It's a week of bonanzas. This is one of them. There's a lot of guys. I mean, there's a lot of must-start guys, and then there's a lot of guys in this matchup that I think are kind of maybe starts, which is probably good because there's a lot of teams out there that need some maybe starts in their lineup.
All right, Jamey, the Chargers are at the Titans. Would you start Quentin Johnston or Chimere Dike?
Quentin Johnston. Just looking at, the offense that the defense that the Chargers are facing versus the defense that the Titans are facing. I think DK's got an opportunity to be a number 3 receiver, but I don't want to just run away from Quentin Johnston just because he didn't play well last week. Again, this is going to be one of these offenses where somebody gets left out on a week-to-week basis, and I hope it's not Johnston consistently. But he was open for some potential big plays last week, and Justin Herbert just did not look his way.
He's at a target share under 13%, 3 straight games. I think one of the problems for Johnston is the way they're using him now. He's running a lot more go routes than he was earlier in the season, and the route depth is up, which I think is kind of what Jamey's saying. It's big play. He's got to make big plays now, it seems, or maybe score. He does get the end zone target sometimes. All right, Las Vegas at Jacksonville. This is an interesting game, Heath. Who are you most confident in this game? Jacksonville or Las Vegas at Jacksonville?
Well, I think the answer will tell you a lot because it's the guy who hasn't played for a few weeks. It's Brock Bowers. I think you're probably still starting ETN and Genty because of the state of the running back position. And everybody else is just kind of a shoulder shrug.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to even think about sitting Genty, but the Jaguars actually have a really good run defense. All right, we'll get into that game in a bit. Denver at Houston. Jamey, do you like anyone in this game?
I mean, Sean Payton's a nice guy.
Ask Russell Wilson that.
I like anyone in this game. I like Woody Marks.
You like
He's
Nico?
my favorite running back in this game.
Woody Marks is?
Yeah.
How about Nico Collins with no Surtain?
Yeah, he's not ranked anywhere close to where he normally is just because of what this offense has looked like. And listen, I know Surtain's not there, but this pass rush is still going to be a problem for CJ Stroud. So this is not one of the 5 best games of the week, and this is not one of the bonanza games. This is low scoring and potential field goal fest, but no, I don't love anybody in this game. Nico's my favorite, probably player overall.
Okay. Chicago's at Cincinnati. Heath, give me some quarterbacks you would start Caleb Williams over.
I'm actually Bo Nix is the easy one. I have him 1 spot ahead of Jackson Dart, 2 spots ahead of Daniel Jones, and I'd start him over Aaron Rodgers, who's been better lately.
Oh my gosh, you're starting him over Daniel Jones against the Steelers?
It's the Bengals.
It is the Bengals. All right, everybody's got Caleb Williams around.
I would not if Flacco was out.
Fair. Okay, what game is next on one question for each game? Here we are. Atlanta at New England. Can you trust any wide receiver in this game, including Jamey Drake London if he were to play?
Can I trust any? Yeah, I mean, I'm starting Drake London without question if he plays. Outside of him, no. Diggs, I think just based on what we saw last week from the Dolphins, Diggs could certainly have a Jalen Waddle type of game. And Kayshon Boutte can still find the end zone. I mean, look, Drake May is playing so well right now that he's going to find some sort of mismatch in some way, shape, or form to be successful. So it's just hard to say this is the guy from that team. Because last week we had a Mac Hollins game. We've had Boutte finding the end zone 4 times in the last 3 weeks. Diggs has sort of fallen off a little bit. You get the 1 touchdown from Hunter Henry on his lone catch. It's just it feels very much like young Tom Brady, where there's no standout. No,
because Jamey, I was with a Patriots fan yesterday.
No, but
he was just like, I'm like, you know what? We're all so happy.
What you're gonna say.
We're all
no standout wide receivers. I'm talking about how the offense is operating.
No, I'm just joking around. I'm just saying, it's great. The Patriots have the best quarterback in the world again. We're all so thrilled.
Yep.
No, I mean, listen, Drake May's got a long way to go for that, but it's just the way that this offense is sort of the ecosystem. It's like there's no real go-to guy, but the quarterback's still playing fantastic.
Yeah. No, I was just messing around. Kansas City at Buffalo. Starter sit Kareem Hunt. This is what an opportunity. The Bills have one of the worst run defenses in football right now. Kareem Hunt, Heath.
He is right on the edge for me of if you have an RB2, you don't start him. If you don't, you do. I would start Kareem Hunt. I've actually got him one spot ahead of Woody Marks. You'd obviously start him ahead of Pollard and Ramondre. I'd start him over Bill. I'd start him over any Vikings. But I think I might be just a little bit lower. I'm just not sure how many touches they're going to give their 30-year-old very good running back who you always say nice things about how talented he is as a rusher. I think we'll see a little bit of a split here between him and Brashard Smith. Hopefully Elijah Mitchell doesn't get involved too. But I think he's RB 24, so right on the edge.
It's really interesting because, the Bills give up the 6th most fantasy points to running backs, 5.3 yards per carry to running backs, and they're even more injured on the defensive line than they had been. And, he's obviously their goal line guy, which is great. He averaged 14.5 PPR fantasy points per game in 8 games without Pacheco last year. So
he has no more than one target in a game since week 1.
Yes. And Pacheco is usually getting about 2 or 3 targets a game. So probably won't be a ton of that. And the Bills are amazing against pass catching running backs. It's their best attribute defensively. But I don't know. I was thinking a good comp maybe be Zonovan Knight against the Cowboys. Who would you guys rather start, Knight or Kareem Hunt?
Knight, but that's a very good comp.
They're back to back.
It's so funny how we were, to whatever degree, excited about Pacheco coming back this season. And now we're excited that Pacheco is not playing this week because of somebody else getting a chance to maybe do something that Pacheco has not done yet.
When you need your sports news all the time,
we've got breaking news to bring to you.
CBS Sports HQ gives you a snapshot of all the sports that matter to you. When you need your sports in a snap, find it on CBS Sports HQ, streaming free anywhere you are.
I think one of the hairs from the wig just got in my throat. So this will be a fun segment. Okay, one question for each game. Carolina's at Green Bay. Starter sit Rico Dowdle. Jamey.
Low-end starter at best. Don't love the matchup. I still don't know what the split's going to be from Dave Canales with Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard. And so you look at the last 3 games for the Packers, it's under 10 PPR points for Jalen Warren, Zonovan Knight, and
Chase Brown?
Yeah. So I think 2 of those guys are comparable to Rico Dowdle, and the offensive line is still an issue for the Panthers in terms of injuries. Bryce Young is either going to play hurt, or Andy Dalton's going to play hurt, or Andy Dalton's just going to play. So it's just it's tough to say slam dunk for Rico Dowdle. So I'd rather start Kareem Hunt. I'd rather start Woody Marks. I'd rather start Bam Knight. Bam Knight's the best player ever, by the way.
The Dark Knight likes Bam Knight.
That's right.
Yes.
I'm trying to think. The one that I keep going back and forth with would be Henderson. If Henderson is the full-time guy there, I'd still start Dowdle, but it's close.
All right, Minnesota's at Detroit. Dave, who's a better flex in this game? Jordan Addison or David Montgomery?
Format dependent. If it's non-PPR, I'll lean toward Montgomery on the hope that he scores and gets enough rushing yards. I'm nervous about Darisaw playing, the offensive line for Minnesota, J.J. McCarthy playing well. And so I've lowered expectations for both Jefferson and Addison. Both of them are number 2 receivers. Addison, a low end, Jefferson, a high end. If it's full PPR, I might lean toward Addison.
Okay.
Also,
yeah.
Do you think like the wig company used like housewife wigs as like the same thing as the Garth and Wayne wigs? Because I don't feel like Garth had a little more volume to his hair, and Wayne did too.
I don't know.
I don't feel like I'm an authentic Garth over here, is what I'm saying.
Oh, I think you look pretty good. I mean, all you need is the Aerosmith t-shirt. Then you'd be pretty authentic. Okay, but David Montgomery, by the way, now for the 2nd time in his Detroit tenure, has gone 2 straight games without a touchdown. Will he have 3 straight games? San Francisco is at the Giants. Jamey, who's the best wide receiver in this game?
Wan'Dale Robinson.
Dave, agreed?
Agreed.
Okay. I think just one thing to keep in mind, like the wide receivers for the passing game for the Niners has been really bad the last couple of weeks. They faced Atlanta and Houston. This week, the Giants are probably going to be missing their starting cornerbacks. I think just could be a little bit better of a situation for the Niners passing game. Seattle at Washington. Jamey, back to you again. How much faith do you have in the Washington passing game? We talk about Deebo Samuel, Zach Ertz in a great matchup. How much faith do you have in them?
I think Deebo Samuel just by default is a low-end number 2 receiver, high-end number 3 receiver, depending on what you're looking at. Hopefully, the fact that he's practicing full, the heel injury is behind him. This has been the setup for him that he's had the most success, which is no Terry McLaurin, Jane Daniels under center. And so, it's not easy. Seattle has given up some big numbers to number 1 receivers at this point, at times this season. But it's going to be a struggle. I have the most faith, honestly, in Ertz just because of how bad Seattle's been against tight ends. Last time we saw them play, it was Dalton Schultz going crazy, and this has been the best setup for Ertz as well. McLaurin missing, and really just Jane Daniels. All of his bad games so far this season for Ertz have come with Marcus Mariota under center. So Ertz is the number 1 tight end this week.
Okay, New Orleans is at the Rams. Dave, is Chris Olave a must start with Tyler Shuck?
Yes. Especially in full and half PPR. I don't think they're going to pull away from him. The targets have been too good. I actually have it pulled up. 13, 10, 14, 6, 11, 10, 7, 12. That's his target numbers every game this year. I think you pencil him in for double-digit targets, even with Shuck.
Okay. Would you start Olave or Deebo Samuel?
Olave. I soured on Deebo doing research earlier this week.
All right. Well, okay. All right. Well, we'll get to that, I guess, when we get to the game, because I couldn't figure out what's going on with Deebo Samuel. I don't know if it's the injury, if the target share has gone down. It's not like he's bad when McLaurin plays. It's not like he's bad. It's not like it's quarterback dependent. It's just been terrible. All right. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Arizona's at Dallas. Rank these 3, Jamey. Zonovan Knight, George Pickens, Marvin Harrison Jr.
Bam Knight is number 1 in every category. I would go Pickens, Harrison, Knight.
Pickens, Harrison, Knight. And what would you do with Harrison's ranking? Does it matter who his quarterback is?
No.
Yes.
It does?
I'm more encouraged if it's Brissett.
Oh, that's
just
so
from
sad.
what I've seen the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, but I'm still starting him no matter what.
Agreed. But I'm moving him up a little bit if it's Brissett.